Hey there guys, today we're going to be doing another Zero to Hero High Roller challenge, this time as the Wizard. Now I do think the Wizard is one of the weakest classes in the game with its base kit, especially in solo Goblin Caves, as you will just die. If anyone catches you out slightly, you will die. But it's a very high skill, high reward class, I would say. It does take quite a bit of learning, and as I say, at low gear levels it is quite punishing. With that being said, the perks setup that we're going to be running today is Arcane Mastery, which makes our Invis and Magic Missiles much faster casts, and also increases the damage a little bit. Sage, an extra 10% knowledge. This increases your magical interaction speed and also your spellcasting speed, which is quite nice. Also increases your spell memory capacity, but that's not really that relevant for the Wizard right now. Quick Chant, extra 10% spellcasting speed, very good. And finally, Mana Surge, increases our magic damage bonus by 10%. This is just a little bit of extra damage, nothing too important here, really. So we will be using a pretty standard setup for the first few, or at least for the first one, that being Meditation, along with our spell setup of pretty much just the standard spells, except I have Zap. I can't even remember what the default starts you with. It might actually start you with Zap. So that will be Fireball, Magic Missile, Zap, Invis, and Haste. I feel like you do have a few options. You can drop Haste for another damage spell, and you can also swap out Zap for probably Ice Bolt. Light Orb is decent if you're facing a lot of rogues as well, as if you're not aware, this actually does reveal rogues that are in stealth. One thing you will notice as well is I'm actually an elf for the Wizard. I think the movement speed does help you a decent amount, because if anything catches you, you die as a Wizard, basically. Sometimes, you know, if they're a little bit too slow and they only catch you with one melee, you'll be able to live. But chances are, if you get caught by something with a melee, you are dead. But you do lose 3 entire health for this. You go down from 78 to 75. So I'm not too sure if it is actually worth it, but I'm trying it out. So as you can see, we're using base kit. I did take off the pants and the hat, as I don't think the 8 movement speed that you lose from equipping these actually helps you at all, really. You get around 10% damage reduction, which sounds like quite a lot, but with how low your health pool is, it doesn't actually change that much. But you will die more likely, you're more likely to die if you face against a geared wizard. A geared wizard with a longbow will one-shot you to the head with basically very little counterplay. You just have to keep moving around and being a hard target to hit. But that's enough talking, let's get right into it. Okay, so matchups for the wizard, in my opinion, you have quite a few really good ones, and a fair few really bad ones. Now, the bad ones I will start with are probably Rogue. If they are able to sneak on you, you basically can't do anything, you just die. There's basically no counterplay, especially if they're running Poisoned Weapon, which will stop you from invising. Your only hope is invising, and if they're on that, you cannot invis as the damage keeps sticking. Ranger, geared rangers, even not geared rangers make your life pretty miserable, as if they're decent, they will just wait until you cast a spell, and then it's basically a guaranteed hit, and they don't even have to hit headshots on you. They just have to hit body shots on you, and you're gonna suffer. And if they're geared, they will just one-shot headshot you, to be honest, if they have a longbow. I don't know why sometimes. I feel like I'm hitting with the edge of the staff, but maybe I wasn't. Rawhide gloves are decent, gives extra knowledge, extra cast speed. Let's drop some of our starting things. We unequipped the trousers and helm, as I don't think the slowdown that you get from them is worth the armor value. If anything gets into melee range, you pretty much die. I will actually drop this blue protection potion, because it will be really easy to spot in the dark caves, and the 8 shield that it gives you is basically not even worth using. It feels like. It's just... Oh, well, there's a player, another wizard. Well, okay, he kind of started talking a bit too late, so I already sent the fireball and he died to 1 fireball somehow. I feel bad about that. I guess I could have cancelled it, but I wasn't really thinking about cancelling it until I'd already processed what he said. I can't believe that guy died to 1 Direct hit fireball. He must have took damage from mobs or something. I'm pretty sure you don't one-shot base kit wizards. From full HP. Yeah, he's base kit, so... basically nothing for us. Anyway, other bad matchups, as I was saying. Barbarians generally have pretty high magic resistance, and also they generally run the perk which gives them even more magic resistance and makes them immune to knockback, which makes your fireball not able to knock them back, which makes that matchup even worse. They also have really high health pools, so you're going to be burning through spells trying to kill them. And they will one-shot you or two-shot you, generally, depending on the weapon and if they're hitting headshots or not. Aside from that, I feel like Fighter is a pretty decent matchup for you as long as you don't get headshot by their crossbow, which can happen sometimes. But if they are heavy wearing plate, they'll basically never catch you in... if they're trying to melee you. So you can kite them around easily and just keep zapping them and fireballing them. Haste invis if they get a little bit too close. Cleric, I feel like, is one of the best matchups for Wizard. They are very slow and have very little ranged options. Primarily, the only things they can really do is hit you with the Holy Smites over and over, which I don't believe 4 Holy Smites, which is the maximum they can actually send out at once, is enough to kill you from full health. But if you do take like a tick from Earthquake or something, or you get Judgmented, then that probably will kill you. But generally, just keep your distance, keep poking at them with fireballs, and you'll probably be okay. And unless they overgear you just by a significant amount. Someone's actually fighting the troll. The biggest upgrade we're looking for is going to be a spellbook, which just allows us to cast while we're moving around much more easily. It also doesn't really get caught on walls too much. You'll notice this in the in maps. If you're ever too close to the edge or too close to walls, you'll cancel so many spellcasts because the staff will just bump into it and cancel your spell for some reason. One thing to note about the wizard is it's pretty important, ow, to not hit yourself with your own fireball like that. I think I just heard an archer shoot into the north, which probably means there's a player in there. No, ooh, a crystal sword, nice. So, we can't really use that too effectively until we get a spellbook as well. Which then means we can use the crystal sword for meleeing PvE, and then we can use the spellbook and our spells on players, which is pretty nice. Find so many explosive bottles. So I will actually use these meds, I think. So the nice thing about having a low health pool is one potion restores so much of your health. And the same with the bandage. If you've played Wizard and also Barbarian, you'll know how much of a huge difference there is between the health pools. Like a default Barbarian, if you're running Robust, has pretty much double the health of a base Wizard. A goblin did just die, but I believe it's to a trap. So yeah, what we probably would like to do is just extract at this point. We don't have anything too amazing on us, and our inventory's not full. But we have decent enough stuff to be able to pick up some meds and also a spellbook. And as I keep saying, the spellbook is truly the most important upgrade for the wizard. More so than for the warlock, I believe. Or at least in my opinion. Because you need to be kiting as the wizard. For the warlock, you can run Blow of Corruption with the magic staff, and then if they get into melee range, you can hit them with a pretty big bonk. I believe it's something like, if you hit a headshot, it's something around 70 damage or something in base kit, which of course is just kind of ridiculous and honestly probably should get nerfed. But hey, so someone has opened this. It could have been this rogue here who opened that and then died. Okay, we're probably just going to be extracting with all this loot. Let's take his boots, everything else. Yeah, we should take the clarity potion, but we're just going to be extracting with this loot. That's pretty good. Let's head to the collector and see how much money we get from all these trinkets that we can sell. This is actually going to be pretty good gold, because some of these are actually pretty high tier. We've got some blues, quite a few greens, some whites. Yeah, like that is a really solid first extract. 241 gold. Now, I don't think I've said the rules in this video so far, but what we won't be doing is we won't be trading, or we won't be buying stuff off other people. It's going to be kind of a self-found / merchant challenge. But we can sell things to other players. So if we do get anything too good, we will sell it to other players. Otherwise, we're probably just going to be vendoring most things. Because this is a strength lantern, this might actually sell for a decent amount on the market, but I'm just going to vendor it for 20 gold, save some time. Now let's head to the tailor and see if he's got any good cloth for us. This Mystic Vestments is pretty good, but it's it being grey, I'm not too bothered about it. If it was, you know, green or something, I probably would pick it up. Aside from that, we could pick up these 2 Will Rugged Boots. Will gives you extra spell damage if you're unaware. Padded leggings are actually pretty decent. Knowledge is cast speed, so what we will do is pick up that, especially due to how much money we have. And also, let us take a look at the Alchemist and see what's for sale. So the Crystal Sword is actually... This blue Crystal Sword is pretty damn solid. So we might be picking up that. Well, that one's also really good. Wow, there's actually multiple good Crystal Swords for 80 gold. So first things first, we will pick up a grey spellbook, just because it's half the price, actually under half the price of the white one, and it only gives 1 less damage. That's pretty solid. So what we will do is sell this white Crystal Sword we got. The thing is with the Crystal Sword is, let's actually demonstrate. So this, if you add this up, this is 21 damage from the Crystal Sword at a white level. At the blue level, this is 29 here, and 29 there, and 30 there. So, like, you get really big damage upgrades from the Crystal Sword tiers for some reason. It seems higher than most other weapons. Look at this grey one, 17. It's so terrible. But yeah, the higher tier ones aren't that bad, and we'll probably be picking up one of these. I think we'll probably pick up this one, because this is going to do the most damage in melee, and that's all we're buying this for. We're only buying this to use in PvE, really. So let's quickly sell these things off as well. Now, we still have a pretty huge amount of gold, so what we're actually going to do is probably mostly just spend the rest on consumables. So if you're not aware, you can actually buy campfires from the Woodsman, which I would recommend if you're playing a wizard. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to swap over to the build which I think is actually stronger, which is running the Intense Focus. And we could, now we probably want to drop Magic Missiles and take another damaging spell. I'm probably going to take Lightning Strike. Other options are, it's pretty much just Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is higher risk, much higher risk, but it's also higher damage and it has more flexibility. Being able to use this on a corpse if someone's around a corner is quite a nice little thing. You can also do this through walls and things. And you can even have the option of dropping haste, but I think I'm going to keep haste. We're just going to drop off the silver coins and we're going to buy some bandages from the surgeon. Aside from that, finding that dead corpse from that the guy who died to the PvE, that's a really nice find for us. We found a huge amount of gold off that guy's collectibles. I'm not going to bother counting this or anything. I'm just going to store this, and we won't be using any of that for anything more. We can't really buy anything from... I suppose we could have looked at the Goblin Merchant, but... Hey, for now we'll probably just head into one more low roller before we head into our high roller run. Okay, so in the lobby of this run, there was actually a very geared fighter. You know, Cloak, and he's not running pure plate, but he's running mostly plate. So this Crystal Sword is really nice, actually. Two-shotting the Axeman is really good. So if we can find that fighter, we probably will engage. He does, I did inspect him, he does have a blue crossbow. If he hits us with probably 2 body shots, we're probably going to die to that. I actually forgot his name, or I didn't actually inspect his name, so... Not going to be able to see it from the kill feed whether he's still alive or if he's killing people. I assume he's going to live for a long time, though. Now, we could actually fight the centipede. I don't really have a problem fighting the centipede. The only thing is... What was happening with that goblin? God damn, he just did not want to move. The only thing is with the centipede is I don't want to get third-partied whilst we're mid-combat with it. Although, I suppose with Wizard, what we can actually... Oh, it's a nice crystal ball, but... Ah. People don't really like crystal balls too much. The thing is with the centipede is, yeah, I don't want to get third-partied because it is going to take us probably quite a while to kill. I'm not going to be using spells on it. We're just going to be meleeing it with the crystal sword. Although seeing how much... Wow, 2 players already died. Remember, you can dodge that with the looking down and crouching. Not really an issue. And even if you do take a bit of damage, as long as you don't die, there is the Hell Shrine behind him. Take some good hits. Honestly, it should probably be pretty close to dying, yeah. And that's the power of the blue crystal sword. This one does actually have really nice rolls in it as well. That will necklace gives us 2 extra health and a tiny bit of extra spell damage and things, so we will obviously take it. Throwing knives, you can use throwing knives as a wizard, but generally you just want to be using spells. That is quite a lot of people who have already died to PvE. An axe trap, cave troll, and someone to a random goblin warrior somewhere. So I believe there's actually only one place where there are axe traps on the map, so we could actually probably just head over there and see if that guy had anything on them. And of course, there's only one cave troll on the map, so we could also check that out. The fact that these death skulls are still alive up there makes me think there isn't anyone in that room, but let's not head that way for now. I'm not sure which spell I probably want ready to cast. Okay. I thought these were actually I thought this was a player for a second, but no. Clearly just goblins. Hopefully we do get to demonstrate the power of the intense focus in this run. I am hoping we run into some PvP. Now I do hear an escape portal open to the south, but for now let's just loot up on what we can. Although loot is a little bit... I don't want to say pointless, but much less useful to us than it is to the average player, as we are not going to be buying things from other players, as I've said before. So I believe now, let's see what's spawned in here. Okay, it's a champion. We don't really want to mess with a champion. Yeah, champion's at the door. The champion, we could cheese it, but it will take quite a while, and I also don't want to use spells, and we're going to have to drag it quite far to actually cheese it, so I think what we're going to do is just not mess with that for now. I would like to be up above, but I don't really feel like walking around the zone. It could be a bit risky. I guess let's just head into this room and try and head up from above, or head up above in here. So I heard something smash over to the east, so that's got to be another player. I believe there's, yeah, a spike trap there. Careful about that. We should probably one-shot this with our... if we actually hit it. If we headshot it. Now, the thing I don't like about areas like this is you can really easily get jumped on, and it's really easy to hide if you're a rogue or something around. But I think we will make it out. It can also be a pretty decent room to wait, though. Okay, so the player's into the east. They should be able to hear us as well. Let's go haste ourselves, have a little bit of a peek in here. He does sound like he's right on the other side, so we do have to be careful about that. Okay, we used our intense focus, but we actually wasted it there because we cancelled the cast. Let's invis ourselves, take a look. Yeah. This is going to be quite annoying because he's just going to keep shutting the door. I suppose what I can do is fireball the door. Try not to cancel our haste. He's dropping down. He's going to be low now. There we go. Hit him with a lightning strike on the way out. Not a huge amount this guy could have done. I feel like I did play that pretty well. Took him down. Let's have a look at what he's got. Pretty good Viking sword. Honestly, he doesn't have anything too amazing. Relatively low gear. But anyway, we did use quite a lot of spells. Let's see how many. We have 2 more fireballs, 1 more lightning strike, 3 more zaps. Now, if we did want to leave, we could actually just extract out of this blue portal up here. But honestly, I did kind of want to see about trying to fight that geared fighter. A nice thing about Wizard as well is you open this very, very fast. Hopefully you saw the power of the intense focus there when we opened the door and just hit him with an instant cast fireball. You know, I don't like only having 1 invis left. Let's have a look in here, a little bit more looting. I mean, I guess we'll take it, but not really worth a huge amount. I think what we will actually do is... I think maybe we'll just extract, to be honest. I'm not hearing where this other... I'm not hearing any signs of other players, to be completely honest. So it could only just be us left in here. I did want to fight this higher wizard, as I say. It is kind of playing with fire. He probably will have a higher health pool. Wasn't that doors open down there? Was that us? But I guess... Fine, let's go check. We can always run back up to that portal if we need to. There is someone down there. It looks like a fighter, but it looks like a low gear fighter. Which probably means at this point the higher gear fighter's probably already left. Okay, did manage to take him out. Missed a fireball, might have missed a lightning strike as well. I'm not really too sure. I don't use lightning strike a huge amount, but it is really nice. It is a really nice ability, to be honest. It's quite easy to hit. Poor guy was quite low gear, unfortunately. I was feel bad for killing low geared people, really. I'm going to assume that the other high-geared fighter has already left. Either that or he died to the PvE. I don't know which, but hey. Pretty decent run. Now, the only thing is, we haven't really got basically much gear at all. We're still running a white spellbook. Or, no, not even a white spellbook, a grey spellbook. But due to the challenge, we're not going to be able to actually buy anything, really. We'll check our vendors one more time, but I don't think we're really going to get much. That is a pretty nice Viking sword. I might try and sell it to players, see how much that goes for. This neck is okay. Probably we'll just store that in the stash, leave that for another time. We did actually manage to sell this Viking sword for 150 gold, so we're going to be picking up pretty decent amount of gold for just that little run. Again, let's check the Alchemist. Okay, so there is a blue spellbook now, but it is 100 gold for basically just 2 useless stats. Apparently debuff duration actually increases the debuff duration on us, so it's actually a negative thing. The buff duration would increase, of course, our little invis and haste by a very, very small amount, but we would also get an extra 3 magic damage, so I guess we will do it, especially seeing as we have the gold. Let's quickly check the Goblin Merchant first. Yeah, nothing of interest really from the Goblin Merchant. I guess we could buy the Frock just to see what we get. Wow, it's white. We gained 3 armor. Amazing. And let's pick up a blue spellbook. Not very good, but hey. Aside from that, what we'll do is we'll actually make sure we have 75 gold for the ante, and the rest can just go into the stash. Could sell this candy corn. We don't need this many meds as a wizard. Like, if we need that many meds, we're probably going to be in a pretty dire situation. The only thing is, the PvE in High Roller is going to be quite rough, mainly with the elite archers and bowler slingers and stuff like that, so we're probably going to have to waste a few spells. So what we will actually do is go to the woodsman and buy another... Let's buy 2 campfires just to be extra safe. We don't really want to be running out of spells if we have to use them on PvE. Alright, so this is the set we're going to be going into High Roller with. Pretty terrible. Probably the worst set we've actually gone into High Roller with. But we're a wizard, so maybe we can pull off some shenanigans which we wouldn't be able to with other classes. Okay, so we are in. There was a very big mix of gear on the other players in the lobby. Some people were running... Well, there was one guy who was here only to drop coin purses. Ouch. Alright, let's med up already. Aside from that, there was a few geared people. There was a pretty geared warlock. There was a pretty geared fighter, but he didn't have a ranged weapon for some reason. As I was saying, for the elite archers, we're probably going to have to use a few spells. What we will do is we'll fireball it, and we'll probably just use a few zaps and hope that's enough. You do get zaps quite... Oh my god, how many zaps do they take? Now, zap is quite a low damage spell. For PvE, mobs have like generally way higher health than players. So you do actually have to use quite a lot of spells on them. That's why magic missiles are so good against PvE, just because it does so much damage, and obviously it's quite easy to hit against people that don't, or things that don't really move too much. Youch. Keep kiting. Now, due to how low we are and the fact that we have the zone on us, I think what I will actually do is just campfire. It will give us our spells back as well. Let's play it safe. It is actually currently leaderboard season as well for High Roller. I doubt I'm going to be competing or pushing for anything in that, but hey. Maybe I'll play 20 games just to see where we end up. But when we're coming in gear with like this, I'm not really expecting a huge... or to do very amazingly. It is nice when you spawn with the zone for you in a High Roller. You can just do some... What's that noise? Oh, it's the campfire expiring, right? Now, I will probably be relatively quiet here, listening out, seeing what's coming for us. We do want to try and pick up whatever money we can. That's actually a pretty nice ring, wow. 2 agility, 1 strength, spellcasting speed. Wasn't expecting to get something like that. Okay, those are pretty nice boots as well. I should have actually bought a luck potion with how much gold we had left over. But completely forgot about that until now. The only thing is with these boots is, this is, of course, after the change where you can only bring in rare items to Low Roller. So, these boots won't even really sell for anything. In fact, I probably can't even really sell these because they don't really have that amazing attributes. What we're mainly going to be looking for, I guess, is just whatever items we can grab. Another campfire. Sure, I guess. There's a pretty okay boots, but let's just stick with our purples for now. The loot in High Roller I do think it's quite noticeably better, but I could definitely tell there are significantly less people playing High Roller, even with the leaderboards active right now, as the lobby took, well, most low roller lobbies that I play fill up instantly, even during, like, off hours for Goblin Caves. Meanwhile, for High Roller here, this took, like, almost 2 minutes to fill the lobby. For the first, like, 30 seconds, we hadn't found a single other player, so I thought we honestly had the chance of getting in as just us. Which is weird, because it's like 4 PM right now, so it's not the weirdest hours to be on. It's not like I'm playing at, you know, 5 AM or anything. Pretty chill run so far. Now okay, so there's definitely a player into the west. Whether it was the player that destroyed that, or if it was something shooting at a player, something broke a box in there, which only happens if there's a player. Did see a pretty good mix of classes, so it could have been basically anything. Wow. Already there's an escape portal in here. Just got a spellbook out, take a look. I really don't want to be using spells. But I guess I will have to here. Now it should die to 1, 2 hits, wow. A fireball to the face and a lightning strike. And it still takes 2 melees. The only thing is... oh. Now, it's a warlock. If he has Eldritch Shield, this is not the best matchup. Ooh, okay, we hit him with a big lightning strike there. Now, he used Phantomize, which lowers your magic resistance. But it makes you immune to projectiles, so most wizard things cannot actually hit these guys. It's a better spellbook for us. Alright. And we're probably going to be extracting after that. That was a pretty solid run. Alright, let's get out of here. Pretty good run there. Now, that guy was significantly more geared than us. He really did not want to fight. He looked like he just wanted to extract, which, looking at his gear wasn't that amazing, so I'm not exactly sure why he didn't just try and fight that. I feel like if he has things such as the... So 295 gold we made from the selling the trinkets and things. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to sell most of this gear. I'll probably just keep it to use it. Although I will probably sell this magical healing thing as... I'll probably sell for not a huge amount, because again, it's purple now, it's epic, and everyone doesn't really buy... No, not many people play High Roller, so this is probably going to sell for... I don't know. A lot less than it probably should do, but hey. It is what it is. Pretty solid run there. If you watched this far, I'm going to assume you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd appreciate likes massively. Subscriptions if you want to see more like this. There will be plenty more coming. And if you leave a comment, let me know which class you'd like to see next, or what if you have any other ideas. Thank you guys for watching.